It comes down to the defending champion, Mike Guido, against the first Cowboys Cam fan of the three of y'all to get to the final round. So this should be very fun. This is going to be an interesting one, okay? So let's put our final round rules first and foremost. It's a it's a winner take all. The winner gets 10,000 points. The loser comes home empty-handed. It's an either-or type situation, and this has to be of the this is what now 9 episodes I think of the 8 o'clock spot. Has to be our saddest final topic. It comes down to this. So Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, they are two AFC East quarterbacks, both of which first-round picks in 2021, and both of which have struggled mightily at the next level. However, Zach Wilson played well the other night against the Kansas City Chiefs. Actually was outplayed Mahomes in basically every metric. Mac Jones put up another clunker against the Dallas Cowboys and looks worse week after week after week. But again, I don't think any of us would exactly consider franchise quarterbacks. So I'll start with you, Adam. Do you think, or in a do or die situation, okay? It's both rosters are equal, okay? Mac and Zach Wilson. Which quarterback would you take through 4 quarters of play, maybe even overtime? Who knows? For your life, Mac Jones or Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson for me. Now, do I have to explain my reasoning, or is it just one answer?
No, go ahead. Explain.
Okay. Just for the fact that I think Zach Wilson showed a little bit more fire. When you look at Mac Jones, he's kind of like there's just not a lot there. Everyone touts how he has this big brain on him. He has a terrible arm. You put him in a good system with a coach like Bill Belichick, and he's still not able to produce the results that Bill Belichick is saying that he should be producing. I look over at Zach Wilson. He had a great game against Patty Mahomes, even though they lost. But when you have someone like Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh who seem to be in Zach Wilson's corner, I would be on that corner, and that's my quarterback when I come down to it, because they're obviously seeing something that the general public's not. And we've talked about it many times on our show, how these rookie quarterbacks, they get thrusted into unbelievable positions and scenarios where you're expecting so much from them because they're a first rounder or a second rounder and they're getting paid all this money. And yet these young guys still need to get developed. So does Zach Wilson need to get developed further? Yeah, I think he does. And I think he's already showing shades of fire under him. But they both pooed the bed against the Cowboys. But at least Zach Wilson shows a little bit more fire for me than Mac Jones.
Well, I mean, most quarterbacks do quote unquote poo the bed against the Cowboys because they have an awesome defense led by Micah Parsons. So, but your point's well taken. There's certainly far more. I think we'd all agree that there's far more upside from a talent perspective for Zach Wilson. It's just he's rarely hit that ceiling. The other night was one of the instances in which he did. To you now, Mike, the defending champion in a do or die game. Again, it's basically how would you rather die? Basically, would you take Mac Jones of the New England Patriots or Zach Wilson of the New York Jets?
I would take Mac Jones, and the reason I would say so, and I think Bryson, you and I can both agree, and Adam, I think, could probably agree with this too, is that there's very few keys to winning in the NFL on a consistent basis, right? One of them is you have to be at least somewhat reliable on the defensive side of the football, and the other part of it is you have to not make mistakes. And that's one of the things that I think Zach Wilson has a master's degree in, is throwing interceptions, fumbling the football, and turning the ball over and making mistakes, making bad reads. Mac Jones by no means is perfect in that category. But as of right now, you also have to keep in mind too, Mac Jones does not have a lot to work with in New England. He just simply does not. The wide receivers that he has in New England are not even close to the tier of what Zach Wilson is working with the Jets. And truth be told, right now, Mac Jones, when he came into the league, was the arm strength there? Absolutely not. But was the accuracy there? Yes. Has he had a winning record? Absolutely, he has. Right? You date Mac Jones back to college. He's had the winning pedigree back when he was at Alabama as well. So I'm with Adam a little bit on this one. I don't know that I love either of my options right now. I really don't. But I trust Mac Jones a little bit more to make fewer mistakes than Zach Wilson. Listen, you had people last week saying that Zach Wilson wasn't an NFL quarterback. I don't think that anybody has said that about Mac Jones yet. A backup maybe, but an NFL quarterback, I think everybody would say Mac Jones is at least an NFL quarterback. I'm going to take Mac Jones.
That's fair. And I said, I have been saying that about Zach Wilson dated back to last season, but I also said that Mac Jones, before he even played an NFL snap, was a backup in the NFL. I'm definitely being validated more on the Mac Jones front. So I'm not going to lie, if I can, let me go and get the final point total in for this afternoon's, or this evening's winner, because both of y'all were absolutely spectacular, and I got to obviously dial up the victory music here. But the champion this week of the 8 o'clock spot is Adam Bessie. Adam, the Cowboys CanFan champion of the 8 o'clock spot on Tuesday. There we go. And he takes down the defending champion in the process. Adam, you represented your show well. How do you feel about this?
I feel great. I feel like I had to not interrupt, and I'm glad I didn't interrupt a couple times, because like you get fired up and you hear other people comment about things. You're like, oh, that's a great point. I think shows like this are solid because it gives you more perspective on things. Obviously, I'm a bit of a homer, and I feel like my answers were the correct ones. But I feel good. I feel good to be here. I'm glad I'm able to represent for my boy AJ, the Cowboys CanFan. Every Wednesdays. And Wednesdays at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we're talking about the upcoming game, and then we live stream every game. So if you're tuning in, make sure you show up. Mike Guido, you're welcome to come on and debate us whenever you want, even though you are a Cow. Actually, Mike, you almost started to sound like you weren't a Cowboys fan, and I know that's not true. You got to get a little bit of homerism into you. We're still thinking this is a Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm apparently like Bryson. I'm all about objectivity and all this stuff that he claims to be about, right? I mean, that's kind of where I'm standing now. So, I got to be realistic.
Barry Grant Jr., the still points leader, is excited. He says, Adam wins. Yeah. My guy. Yes, revenge for me.
If we were a wrestling federation, Barry and I would secretly be trying to get into some sort of stable. And
we
would be some sort of faction. Maybe me and AJ tag team champs of the world, Anth coming in as a singles champ, and then Barry Grant Jr. as our mystery guest for this Cowboy stable. So
listen, by the way, both of y'all were fantastic. The final round, fantastic. Unfortunately, Mike Guido's very impressive streak of perfect scores comes to an end. I guess technically doesn't totally come to an end, but listen, in the regular rounds, maybe you can continue that next time you're on the show. We're bringing Dalton and Alfred back in the mix. Great job by everybody here. The 8 o'clock spot, that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to go subscribe to the GRYD Network on YouTube and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Please do the same for all of our awesome content creators, including those who are panelists tonight on the 8 o'clock spot. Join us next week on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, live on the GRYD Network's YouTube channel and Twitter page. And until next time, stay safe out there. God bless y'all, and see ya.